A wolf sees a flock, notices a guardian dog, and may decide the risk isn't worth it. A bear is a different story. It's bigger, enormously strong, surprisingly capable of climbing, and unlike many predators, it may not be interested in hunting the livestock at all. Sometimes it simply wants what's on the other side of the fence, and that creates a very different problem for a livestock guardian. For centuries, shepherds and farmers have relied on guardian dogs to protect animals from predators. The dogs watch the flock, patrol the area, bark when something unusual approaches, and make their presence known. Against some predators, that presence alone can be enough. But bears don't always play by the same rules, and that's where things get interesting. Imagine a flock grazing on a mountain slope. The dogs are resting nearby. Everything looks normal. When one of them catches a scent, it lifts its head. The other dogs notice. Suddenly, the flock has gone from an ordinary afternoon to a very different situation. A bear is somewhere nearby. The first thing the guardian does is not necessarily to run straight forward it. It may move towards the source of the disturbance. It may position itself between the threat and the livestock. And if there is more than one guardian, their combined barking and movement can make the entire area feel occupied. This is important because livestock guardian dogs are not simply miniature versions of wild predators. Their job is not to chase down everything that comes near the flock. A good guardian spends much of its time preventing a problem before it becomes a fight. And with bears, prevention becomes especially important. Why? Because a bear is not a wolf with a different face. Bears are generally much heavier and physically more powerful than even very large guardian dogs. They also have different behavior and motivations. A wolf approaching livestock may be thinking about prey. A bear might be looking for food, investigating something interesting, or simply moving through the area. That means the dog can't always rely on the same response. The bear might stop, the dog might bark, the bear might continue walking, the dog increases the pressure. And now you have a confrontation where neither animal necessarily wants exactly the same thing. This is one reason the size and number of guardian dogs can matter. A single dog facing a large bear is in a completely different situation from several experienced guardians working together. Multiple dogs can detect the animal earlier, make more noise, cover more ground, and create a stronger deterrent. But here is something people often misunderstand. More dogs does not mean the dog should attack the bear. Quite the opposite. The ideal outcome is that the bear decides the flock is not an easy or worthwhile target and leaves. That's the victory. No dramatic battle, no heroic movie scenes. Just a predator changing its mind. And that idea takes us to one of the most fascinating things about livestock guardians. Their greatest weapon is not necessarily their bite. It's the fact that they change the way a predator sees the flock. A flock without protection can look like an opportunity. A flock surrounded by alert dogs is a different calculation. The predator has to consider noise, movement, risk, and possibility of being detected, and whether the reward is worth all the trouble. With bears, however, there is another complication. They are extremely strong and they can be persistent when food is involved. A dog barking from a distance might discourage one bear and barely bother another. There is no magic breed that can guarantee a bear will turn around. And this is where internet discussions about livestock guardians often become unrealistic. You'll sometimes hear people talk as though one particular breed can handle any predator simply because it's large and powerful. Real livestock protection is not as simple. The environment matters, the number of dogs matters, the livestock matters, the bear matters, and the experience of the animals matters. A guardian working in bear country is not operating inside a controlled experiment. It's dealing with a wild animal that has its own instincts and its own reason for being there. And there is also something else that makes bears particularly challenging. They can climb, they can cross obstacles, they can sometimes get into places that would stop other animals. So the guardian dog is not the only layer of protection. Good livestock management matters too. Security fencing, appropriate husbandry, human supervision, and reducing attractants can all make a difference. The dog is part of the system, not the entire system. And that may be the biggest difference between dealing with a bear and dealing with many other predators. A guardian dog does not have to prove that it's stronger. It has to make the livestock a bad opportunity. That is a completely different mindset. The dog watches, it warns, it challenges the bear's approach. It brings attention to the problem, and hopefully the bear decides that whatever it came looking for is not worth the trouble. Because the best livestock guardian story does not end with a dramatic fight. It ends with the predator walking away. And that's why bears are such a different challenge for livestock guardians. They are powerful enough that direct confrontation can become extremely dangerous. Their behavior is not identical to that of pack-hunting predators, and their motivation may have nothing to do with hunting livestock. So the smartest guardian is not necessarily the dog that looks the most frightening. It's the one that notices the bear early, stays with the flock, works with its companions when available, and does its job without turning every encounter into a battle. That's what livestock guardians have been doing for generations, not winning fights, but preventing them. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for more stories about the world's remarkable livestock guardian dogs. And stay with us, more fascinating guardian dog stories are coming soon. Bye for now, I'll see you in the next video.